Hey, welcome. If you hear us say anything in this podcast that sounds fucked up, we're probably joking, so calm down. Also, sorry for all the profanity.
Just some guys. Just some guys. Just some guys. Just some guys. Podcast.
Well, welcome everybody to the Just Some Guys podcast.
I'm Matthew. I'm Matthew. That's me. I'm
Brody.
I'm host numero uno. Host
And I'm
numero
host.
duo is Bobby.
I'm host other numero uno because you're not better than me, cocksucker.
I am better than you. I'm so much better than you. You know what I am? You know what I am compared to you?
Faggot.
I'm a Nigerian swamp worm. You know what you are?
What?
Shit.
A big pile of poop.
Yep. I squirm through the mud, and I get up in my Nigerian worm fighting stance like a rattling snake, and I strike. You know what you do? You shit because you're shit.
I just lay there.
Because you're shit.
I just lay there and I smell.
I don't know why I chose a worm. It's a pretty weird choice on my part.
It's a very weird choice.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the episode
everybody.
32 of the Just Some Guys podcast. Hey, we're on YouTube, and we got it to stop being dumb temporarily. Hopefully, this lasts a little longer. So we're still on YouTube. The last episode, I know what came out last week, but it just went up on YouTube today. Just technical difficulties. Nothing me or Brody can do about it. This time, the technical difficulties weren't on us or me.
Nope. It was on their end.
It was on their end, but it's resolved now. Hopefully, this episode will go up also. And you know what? That's all we can do is hope sometimes. You know, just gotta hope for the best.
Just gotta kind of hope and pray.
So yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube and share us with all your friends, please. Please. Ooh, I want it so bad.
Tell your friends. Spread the word about us.
Spread the word.
You talk too much anyway. Just tell your friends while you're blabbing on about nothing. Fucking assholes.
That's a for sure way to win over fans right there. Hey, all you fucking idiots.
Hey, you fat-mouthed fucking idiot.
You better fucking like us, or I'll destroy you.
Put down the cookies and chips and pop and pizza, you fat fucks. Go tell all of your friends about us.
I got pizza today.
That sounds good, actually. I just had Mexican food with my parents because we just went and saw King Arthur.
I saw that with my parents on Mother's Day. She wanted to see that movie, okay? It wasn't like me taking over Mother's Day. She wanted to see that movie.
We're such good sons.
Why are you a good son? I went to a movie that my mom wanted to see on Mother's Day. Why are you a good son?
Because my dad wanted to see it.
Her? Just because you spent time with her? Oh, you're talking about your parents non-specifically.
I did. I saw with both of them.
Sorry, I had to muffle the sound of me opening a can.
Good cover up, dude.
Did it work?
No. It's just a loud
tried.
scream and then a can opening.
It was worth a shot. So what'd you think of King Arthur? I thought it was pretty freaking cool, man.
You know, okay, here's the thing. I'm going to get the negatives out of the way first. First of all, I love Guy Ritchie. He's the guy who directed it. Snatch is one of my favorite movies. It's I think that is my dad's favorite movie. Which is part of the reason
but you don't know.
Why he probably What's your dad's favorite movie?
Kung Fu Hustle. No, Kung Pao.
What?
Yep.
The Legend of the Fist or whatever the hell it's called?
Yep.
It is not.
Yeah, I don't actually know, but I know he really likes that movie. and we bonded over it as a child.
Yeah, see, that's
actually, I would venture to say that my father probably doesn't have a favorite movie.
I think my dad, that's the same way with my dad. I think that it's definitely one of his favorite movies. It could be his favorite movie, but I digress.
Give me your downsides. King Arthur, downsides. Let's go!
It's a Guy Ritchie movie for sure. The way it's shot, it's modernized. It's not quite as modernized. I don't know if you ever saw A Knight's Tale.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed that movie. It was.
So did I.
I saw it when I was kind of young, but I thought it was really cool.
I did too. And that was kind of the first look I had at a medieval type movie with a soundtrack that wasn't, like medieval music. It was like modern day music. Now there wasn't any really modern day music in this movie, but I couldn't get over how much. If you've seen Green Street Hooligans, now King Arthur's played by Charlie Hunnam. I don't know how to say his last name. Hunan. He plays Jax on Sons of Anarchy, and he played the lead in Green Street Hooligans. I think his name was Pete in that movie. I think. I haven't seen that movie in years, but I really like it. And it was almost like he was quite a bit younger when he did that movie, and it was almost like it was Pete from Green Street Hooligans who grew up to be King Arthur. And because it was pretty much the same character. And the thing that just bothered me a little bit was his accent throughout the whole movie. He talked like a normal, everyday British guy from the 2000s. And, it wasn't like all lordly and kingly, and how in movies like that, they're like, yes, bring forth my sword and we shall vanquish this demon together.
Sure.
He was like, "Aye, mate, bring my sword over here and I'll cut your fucking nuts off." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Did you think it was shot like Ocean's 12 or Ocean's 11 or anything like that too?
Did what?
Did you feel like it was shot like Ocean's 11 like that? Like that
definitely. Yeah, they definitely had, especially when, they're explaining how they're going to take down the, we're going to walk into the castle, or we're going to stop all the trades, all the boats from coming in, so that he can't get any slave labor, and he can't get any of the materials he needs to build this tower, which he had to build a tower to become all powerful. And yeah, and I liked that it was shot that way. I really did.
So what are the positives then?
The positives were, I really liked. I mean, it's the story of King Arthur, which is awesome. I liked all the story type liberties that they took with the story of King Arthur, in The Sword and the Stone. Like where, I don't know if this is kind of a spoiler, but it happens in the first 10 minutes of the movie. But King Arthur's father dies, and when he dies, he throws his sword up in the air and it stabs himself basically.
Well, that's a spoiler.
Yeah, and then he turns into the stone that the sword can't be pulled from unless you are.
Way to spoil everybody,
king.
Brody. You're a big spoily bitch.
That I liked that they took that liberty and they made it that way, because
I actually really liked that part too.
Yeah, I don't know why. I was just like, oh, that's a cool way of doing it.
One thing that seemed kind of odd to me about that movie is, in the end, spoiler alert, everybody. See how it's done, Brody? You let people know that you're about to spoil them. You don't just go and, oh, King Arthur died. We just showed that the sword within. Oops, I spoiled it. That's what you just did. Listen to a pro.
Fairly certain that's not what I did.
That's what you did.
Okay.
But, so King Arthur was the kind of a reluctant hero the whole time. He didn't really have any motivation to become the king. And even in the end, it seemed like he didn't really want to be king, but he just kind of came to terms with it. But he still wasn't all that into it, And then when they formed the Knights of the Round Table and he had the table, they were like, what the hell is this thing? And he's like, it's a round table. It wasn't all like, well, I've made this table round because there's no traditional head of the table because we're all equals, none of that stuff, which is what I kind of thought was kind of like intrinsic to the whole King Arthur thing. was that he didn't really see himself as better than anyone else, and all of his knights were equals, and that kind of thing. In this movie, it was just kind of like, I made a table in this round. What the fuck? Whatever.
we sit at it and we converse. That was.
But you get what I'm saying? At the end,
Yeah.
it was just like.
And not only that, like you said, in all the stories, King Arthur, like you said, he doesn't feel like he's better than anyone else, and that's what made him so likable to everybody, and that's why everybody loved him as the king. Was that he was just and fair, and he never treated anyone any different than he would. He didn't treat his best friend any better than he would a peasant on the streets. And in this movie, he was pretty cocky, especially like you said at the end, where they're talking to the Vikings, and he basically makes them all kneel, and then he's like, "All right, come have some dinner." He's like, "That's a good boy. Now come have some dinner." And I'm just like, okay. It definitely had its quirks, but overall I liked the movie a lot, and I really liked the effects when he fought with the sword.
Hey, that was kind of mad to me. It was okay, but I
thought that was pretty cool.
I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I was just like, eh.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like blow me away like.
I'll blow you.
Like the first time I watched The Matrix. And I saw stuff like that, like the fight scenes in The Matrix. I was like, holy fucking shit, this is amazing! It wasn't like that. It was cool, but it was, it didn't blow my mind. One of my pains.
Yeah, I think overall I would definitely recommend that movie. It's a good modern take on King Arthur. It's just the only thing that's I won't classify it as a negative. It's just kind of like here's a thing, is that King Arthur isn't how you would expect him to be.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest gripe with it too.
But well, I'm not even griping. I'm just saying it's just a thing. I liked the direction they took. It's just different than the traditional King Arthur that you would expect.
Yes, correct. Yep. And also,
but they explained why that was. He was orphaned at a young age because his parents were killed, and he was raised by spoiler prostitutes, and then he kind of became like a gang leader, but also like a peasant hero, because the king who took power, this is all spoilers by the way, was a huge dick. So
yeah, of course he was. I mean, that's the way he was supposed to be throughout the entirety of everything. Also, one thing that I was a little disappointed is we never saw Merlin.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Halfway through when they took him to their secret meeting. Oh, Reptar, perfect timing. When they took him to their little secret hideout in their secret meeting, I thought for sure we were going to see Merlin there, and he just never showed up, and I was kind of disappointed in that.
Yeah, I'm not totally familiar with like the classical King Arthur like lore. I understand that there's Merlin and he gets the sword from the lady in the lake and all that stuff, and it was, all that stuff was in the movie, but I don't understand exactly. I never really knew exactly how it was also like supposed to happen, and according to the original story, I'm not really familiar with any of that stuff. But I don't know. I wasn't. I wanted to see this movie, but I probably would never have seen it in the theaters unless but I did because my mom wanted to, and it was Mother's Day.
Right.
And I'm happy I did. It was a surprise for me. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, and I loved all the sets. I loved all the castles and the way they looked, and even like the beginning, like the very beginning with the giant elephants were very cool.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. That was pretty neat.
And the movie has great actors in it. I mean, we already said Charlie Hunnam was King Arthur. It's got Jude Law, and it's got Eric Bana, and it's got Dahajin Hajinisu. I don't know how to fucking say his name, but it's the black guy in Gladiator. Yeah, there were some big name good actors in it, and they all did a good job, I think.
That being said, I recognized most of their faces, but I could never have told you their names. They're like well-known actors, but it's not like, Tom Cruise.
Right, yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. But I did recognize most of them.
Also, I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't think it would happen so fast. Charlie's out of his shirt. King Arthur's out of his shirt very quickly in the beginning of this movie, and it was all for the ladies. There was no reason for him to be out of his shirt and uppercutting the air like a boxer. They just did it. And the funny thing was, it was my parents and me, and then there were 4 older ladies, probably about my parents' age, in front of us. And when that scene came on, I all went, woo!
Oh my!
Because we went.
Getting my pussy wet.
Oh Jesus! We went and saw it in a tiny little theater in my parents' little town that they live in, and it was, it's just those 4 and us, and they're like, ooh, woohoo! Take it off, little hunky man. And I was just like, oh Jesus! But that's what it was in there for, I guarantee it. And then,
of course it is. What's wrong with that?
No, nothing. I'm totally down with that.
Okay then.
He may have creeped up my I'd go gay for this guy list a little bit because of this movie.
Yeah, I don't like the way he. I don't like the way
still
he
leads
holds
the way,
himself.
But
I don't like the way he holds himself. He walks around weird. He's got like a weird stance and really big feet. Bothers me.
What the fuck, man?
Look, I'm just being honest, man.
All right, okay.
He's a cool guy, but
the last thing I'll say about it is the when Jude Law is in his transformed state, when he has all of his powers, is pretty fucking
That
dope.
guy was badass.
He was fucking dope, and he had a dope ass double-sided scythe. It was like
badass.
It was like when Darth Maul had the
he
double-sided
was like,
lightsaber.
yeah, I was gonna say that he's like the Darth Maul of freaking King
medieval
Arthur.
times. Yeah, it was pretty fucking dope. So, yeah, I would give that movie, I think, a solid 8 out of 10.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, I wasn't planning on giving it a score.
Give it
I
a
don't
number.
know why you're always doing
Give
this.
it a fucking number.
7
All right, yeah.
out of 20.
That's about right.
Because scores
Out of
are
20.
stupid. Because scores are stupid.
You're stupid.
Opinions are subjective, Brody.
I give you a 1 out of 50.
Opinions are subjective, Brody. Scores are dumb. Anyways, I watched a bunch of movies the past couple of days. Would you like to know what they are?
Oh, really? Let's hear it.
Have you ever heard of It Man?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you ever heard of It?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Hey, Brody. Hey, Brody.
Yeah?
You know, like those my new work boots that I got.
Yeah.
I think the next time I see you, I might just like sweep your leg out. I might just like sweep your leg out and just bring the heel of my big old work boot and just crush your face with it. I'll just smear your face all over the rug, and Reptar will be eating your brains.
Well, first of all, I have hardwood floors. And then second of all, you aren't tall enough.
I don't need to be tall when I sweep your leg and crush your face with my work boot, bitch.
Bitch! No, but, so you said Ip Man.
Yes, have you ever heard of Ip Man?
I've seen all.
IP?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the 4th one?
I have.
Or the 5th one?
I don't think I've seen the 5th one. Is the 5th one
It's
out?
not on Netflix.
Okay.
I saw a clip from it, and I didn't even know it existed until I saw a clip. But those are like the best kung fu movies in like the past like decade.
Oh yeah, I watched Ip Man last year, the first one, and it blew me away so much that I watched the other 3 like right away, or as soon as I could.
They're
anyway.
amazing. It's like Ip Man is a real life person, but it's like a biopic, but like a fictionalized biopic of his life. Ip Man was the kung fu master. What was his freaking
Wang Chung.
Wang Chun. Wang Chung. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was the master of Bruce Lee, and that's like his most famous pupil.
Yeah, he was Bruce Lee's real life Bruce Lee's master.
And he was just a total badass. And the movies are for sure like ridiculous exaggerations of his life, but he was a real life badass for sure. And I just love those movies. Then, man, they're so well shot. Like the kung fu and action scenes are so well shot. I've watched the first and second Ip Man like 3 times now. I just watched the 3rd one for the first time today because I had one of those things where I thought I saw it, but then I realized I hadn't.
Right.
So I watched them out of order. I watched the first one, the second one, the fourth one, and then the third one.
Now, the fourth one is with Mike Tyson, correct?
No, the third one is with Mike Tyson. The fourth one is where they had a different actor to play Ip Man.
Oh, then...
Old Ip Man.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one.
Which old Ip Man looks a lot more like real-life Ip Man than young Ip Man does.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I like the younger version better. I like that guy as an actor.
Well,
He's the guy.
Yen, dude. He's a fucking badass.
He's the guy that played the Force is with me, whatever guy from Rogue One.
I am one with the Force. The Force is with me.
Yeah, he's that guy.
Yeah. Yep. I was excited when they had him in Rogue One. I was like, hell yeah. Donnie Yen's coming in. That'll be awesome.
Oh yeah, dude, that was a huge thing for me when I saw he was going to be in Rogue One. I was like, oh shit, Ip Man! Ip Man's in Rogue One!
Yeah,
I was super excited.
The first one to me is easily the best. Especially the scene where he fights 10 dudes for a bag of rice and just fucking destroys them.
I like pretty much all of them equally. I don't know, actually I disagree. They definitely get kind of samey as it goes on.
Yeah. Yes, they do. Yep. There's always a bad guy. He comes into town. He's looking to fight. Well, the first one is Ip Man is kind of like almost a prisoner, and he has to fight for food along with everybody else. And then through his fighting, he makes his way up the ranks to fight the bad guy of the movie.
Nope, that's not what happened. Not at all.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then he fights him, and everyone loves him.
It's World War II in China, which Japan invaded China in World War II. And, Japan back then were like the Asian supremacists of Asia. They thought they were better than every other type of Asian. And
they did.
And so everyone's starving, and Ip Man's family is starving. They went from being pretty wealthy. They were born into a wealthy family, and they didn't really want for anything. But then when World War II happened, they lost everything because the Japanese took it. And then Ip Man goes to get a job to pay for food so he can, save or, feed his family. And some random Japanese soldier man comes and says, hey, my general's holding tournaments, and if you win, you get a bag of rice. So a couple of people that he knew before the war were there, and they convinced him to go because Ip Man is super humble. That's his thing. No matter how good he gets, he's like the humblest bitch in the world.
By the way,
and he doesn't like to fight.
Yeah,
he only fights as a last resort.
And as good as you said, he's no matter how good he gets, he's the best all the time.
Well, that could be just because, it's a movie. And there's a legend to uphold. Ever. I don't know about that in real life. But in the movie, he kicks everyone's ass. Ip Man never loses. He's like Rocky. Well, no, he's not like Rocky. Rocky loses.
Yeah, Rocky lost and Rocky won.
But, so he reluctantly goes, and he sees one of the old kung fu masters from his hometown, kicking butt, and he gets a bag of rice, and evidently he goes there frequently. There's a couple of scenes where he goes there, and that guy's already fighting, and he kicks everyone's butt and comes back with a bag of rice. And in one scene, this is a spoiler, a kind of a major plot spoiler, because this kind of spurs on the main end fight. It kind of spurs everything on. He beats up a bunch of dudes, and one of the Japanese soldiers gets mad and shoots him. And then Ip Man is pissed.
So mad.
And so he goes up there and tells the general, he's like, give me 10 guys. And he's like, okay, which, there's a big pause, and everyone's like, oh my God, 10 guys. Did he just say 10 guys? Is he gonna fight 10 guys? And so he fights 10 guys and just totally destroys all of them. And at that point, the general...
The gloves come off. It's like you said, Ip Man isn't out to hurt anybody. Not in the beginning. When he fights, he always stops before it gets too bad. He lets you know you're not going to beat him, but I'm not going to, he's not going to bloody you up. And when he fights those 10 guys, all the cards are on the table, and he starts breaking legs and arms. He's really fucking these guys up.
Oh, yeah. And at that point, the general kind of takes a liking to him, and I'll leave it at that point because I don't want to talk about the whole movie. But so I just said all of that to say that you're wrong.
I mean,
there was a really
more than I did. I just.
But yours wasn't accurate. You said he was fighting for rice. He never did that. He didn't even fight. He didn't even take the rice they gave him for beating up those 10 guys. He rejected that rice and then grabbed the bloody rice that the guy got who died and took it back to his family. He didn't even accept that rice.
Wait, no, he fought, right?
That was never implied. That was that's the only scene where he fought. That is the only scene where he fought, and he didn't get any rice for it. So you're wrong.
No, he fought, right?
Yes.
And then he took a bag of rice home?
Yes. I
win.
That is absolutely not. That is absolutely false. I win, and everybody knows it. But
only the ones that have seen Ip Man and are not confused by our shitty explanations of this movie.
God fucking damn you! I was going to say something. I can't remember what it was. Your shitty ass talking.
It's a podcast, man.
Well, you're not talking now. That'd be helpful.
Well, I don't want to.
Dumbass gap.
I don't want to get yelled at again.
Shut up, you stupid slut.
But yeah, those are, like you said, those are basically what all those movies are.
They're just really good kung fu movies.
Yeah, someone hears about the Legend of Ip Man. They think they're the best.
Oh, I remember.
Hey, I want to fight you, Ip Man, because I think I'm the best. And then they fight Ip Man, and they realize they're not the best. He is.
Ip Man in the 4th movie used a really good analogy to describe his philosophy on fighting, and it was something along the lines of, if I teach you to swim, you can swim long and far, and maybe you'll even save a life, but does that mean that you'll throw people in the ocean to save them?
Mm.
And I was like, holy shit, that's really fucking good. I got a philosophy wiener.
Oh, philosophy boner.
I got a philosophy boner.
Philosophy wiener. Oh, boy.
But one thing that I really love that those movies do that not a lot of movies, at least American movies do, because these are foreign-made movies. I believe they are Chinese-made movies. I'm not sure about that, actually. Chinese or Japanese. Who fucking knows? But,
ooh, racist.
The way that these movies are shot is there's multiple people who speak multiple different languages in the movie, but everyone speaks their own language. It's not like they just kind of make everyone speak one language for the sake of the audience. It's just everyone speaks their native language except for people who are bilingual because their character is bilingual.
Right.
And I love that. It's like most of the movies in Chinese in the first movie, almost the whole movie is in Chinese, except for the characters who speak English. They speak English. And then there's, there's subtitles and stuff.
Can I say this about that subject just for a second? That's that's a big selling point for me as to why I like Star Wars more than I like Star Trek. In Star Trek, everybody speaks English. I don't care where you come. Now, I know that they have their, Klingons have their own language, and people speak Klingon. I get it. But for a majority of the time, all the Klingons in the show speak English. Everybody speaks English. I don't care what universe or planet or galaxy you come from, you speak in English. And in Star Wars, there's just a lot of, there's subtitles. They speak different languages because they're from different planets, and I like that.
Why are you changing the subject?
That's why I'm not. I'm just bringing that up because that's what you just said about this movie.
The only thing that I don't like about that is that some of the actors, you can't tell if they're acting bad in a foreign language, but as soon as they speak English, you're like, oh, geez, that guy's not a good actor.
I guess that's true.
Like one of the head bosses of the Chinese police force or something like that is a Westerner or a British man, and he just the very few lines that he has are just the worst delivered lines I've ever heard in a movie.
They're very bad. You're right.
The inflection is all off, and it's just so bad. But I think it kind of adds to the charm of the movie. And also, I like listening to the movie in its original form. I don't like listening. There's dubbed versions of that movie now. And dubbed foreign movies, especially Asian movies, are so cheesy to me because the voice actors are so stupid sounding. I don't know, like voice actors in like cartoons and other things in video games don't sound like that. Why do they sound like that in movies?
Yeah, I don't.
They
get that
overact like crazy. So much overacting.
It's like it's such a cliche, but it's the truth. Like if you watch a Chinese movie and they have dubbed voice actors in English, it's like, haha, I will come over and I will punch you in the mouth. Like that's what they all sound like, all of them.
And then they gotta like ADR all these like grunts and stuff during the fighting, and it sounds so bad. And to me, it makes the film way less campy when you just listen to it in the native language.
Yeah,
and you gotta read some subtitles.
Just read some subtitles. Quit being a bitch.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, I think the guy in the upper left-hand corner of our Discord box right now in the window. I think he's fluent in Wing Chun.
Tubby cringe beta combat man.
Yeah, that's him. Look at him just up there in the corner, just ready to wreck.
How dare you insult my kung fu style?
I am cringe beta combat fat man. I will destroy you.
I'm gonna get this bag of rice and not eat it unless it has grease on it.
I could be a voice actor for foreign movies, man.
You really could. Like that was pretty good.
You have insulted me and my family. Prepare to be destroyed.
So are those the only movie you watched all the Ip Mans?
Yep, I watched all the Ip Mans yesterday and today. I watched a little bit of a show called what's it called? House of Cards.
Oh,
it's a political drama, which doesn't sound interesting, but it is. I recommend it. It's a good show. Kevin Spacey plays a senator or a congressman or something, and Kevin Spacey's awesome. So
yeah,
he plays the character very well.
I've heard of that, and I've never watched it, but I hear nothing but really good things about it. I watched the entirety of Shameless. Not in a week, but probably for the last month. I watched from season 1 all the way through season 6, which is all they have on Netflix. Apparently, they have a season 7.
How is it?
It's a really good show.
What is it? A comedy or what is it?
I would say it's a comedy. It's a drama, a dramedy.
You didn't make that up.
No. It's about a lower class family that lives in Chicago. There's a bunch of them. Their dad's a drunk and a deadbeat, and but they're a family and they're very family oriented. They all look out for each other. They all pull together to pay bills and make sure that they can just keep living this, ghetto lifestyle that they're all accustomed to, because they're from the south side of Chicago, which apparently that's the bad side. But yeah, it has a lot of funny moments. The story's really good. The characters are, some of them are lovable, and sometimes a lot of them you just hate. But it makes you feel a range of emotions, and it's a good show, and it is funny. There are a lot of funny moments. Don't watch it with your mom.
Is it inappropriate?
Yeah, oh yeah, there's a ton of sex. There's it's very inappropriate, but it's all
like uncensored sex.
Yes.
Ooh.
Boobies are flying, and people are banging on kitchen tables, and I think you even see some wieners sometimes.
Why would they do that? That might break the table.
But people eat there. Why?
There's a lot of good things.
Show.
There's a lot of good things on Netflix right now. F is for Family just came out with a second season, which the first season I wasn't huge on, but I watched a lot of episodes from the second season today. And
is that the one that Bill Burr voices?
Yeah, Bill Burr this is his show. Like he's the voice of the main character, and I think he does a lot of the writing for it. And Bill Burr's a funny guy, and the second season is pretty good so far. It's a funny show.
I have to watch that. I really like Bill Burr.
The only thing is, I'm not sure if it's like actually good comedy or if I'm just laughing at the use of the way that they use swear words. I don't know. It's just It's kind of hard to explain,
Is
but
it's clever funny?
oh, not really. It's kind of like King of the Hill if it was a lot more risque and offensive, and there's nudity in this show, like actual drawn nudity. I saw a animated dick in this show today.
I'll watch it. I'll watch a show with animated dick. Hell yeah.
Lots of boobs. Not a lot actually, but it still surprises me because it's animated and like a family friendly animation style. So it's something that you'd expect to see on like Fox.
You're right. It looks like
to come on after The Simpsons or something like that.
Something.
But it's a lot more adulty.
Okay. All right.
But it's pretty funny. And Netflix rebooted Mystery Science Theater 3000. I watched the first 2 episodes of that, and that's pretty cool. Good. I like watching bad movies, and the dad jokes are just kind of. I
watched the first 2 episodes of that, and yeah, I agree. I'm glad they rebooted it, and they did it in a good way. It's not like
yeah, it's good.
Done. It could have been awful, but it
holds true to the original concept.
Yeah. Yep. And I also I'm actually going to watch the last episode tonight of Sherlock.
Oh, I love that show. I haven't got into the new season yet. But...
Oh, you should, dude. They're so good. It's not disappointing at all.
You're talking about the BBC Sherlock with,
yes, the one with
Chris or frickin'
Benedict
Klumble Klump.
Crumple Crunch. And
Benedict British man.
And Bilbo Baggins. And
no, oh yeah, it is Bilbo, yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to fucking go off on you, but then I realized that I was in the wrong.
I'm glad you didn't.
And that's how adults act, everybody.
Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. But yeah, I'm gonna watch the final episode tonight. Now, for those of you who haven't watched that show, they're only 3 episodes a season, but they are each an hour and a half, which is amazing. And I mean, like, hour and a half without commercials.
Yeah, there's
I don't know if the BBC does commercial. I don't know how it works over there in jolly old England, but there's no commercials obviously because it's on Netflix, but it's an hour and a half uncut. So it's basically like you're watching 3 short. Well, I guess they're not even really that short films. You're like watching 3 movies of Sherlock. 3 feature-length movies. Yeah, and they're all very good. The stories are all good. They kind of intertwine, but they're also their own stories. It's all very good. So, and this new season doesn't disappoint. And I'm very excited to watch the last episode tonight.
Did you see Doctor Strange? That's on Netflix now.
Wait.
The one with Benedict Cumberbatch, the very most recent one.
Oh, is that? I saw it in the theaters, but I wouldn't mind watching it again. I didn't know that was on Netflix.
Was it good? Would you like it? Would you recommend it?
Oh, yes, watch it for sure. It's very good.
Okay, I will watch it. I have not seen it.
Yes, it's a very
I have not seen it.
It's a very good addition to the Marvel Universe.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing. I'm happy about that.
Benedict Crumples Cranch is just a good actor in general.
Yeah, I really enjoy Benedict Slooplegarps.
Even though he kind of looks like a pointy weasel.
Whatever, he's hot.
He's a very odd-looking man.
Man, just movie talk, man. This has turned into the movie podcast and like show Netflix. Well,
that's what
podcast.
happens. Usually we do this when we watch a movie at the same time, or like if we go to a movie together, or if we've both seen the same movie and it's relatively new.
Yeah, and I like talking about this stuff on the podcast. I think it's relatable.
Yeah, me too. It's very relatable. People like movies. But I did see an article that said that this summer, movie sales are down the lowest they've been since 1999.
Good.
I'm down with that. I'm with
People
you.
are getting sick of all the same bullshit.
Correct.
Maybe Hollywood will take the hint and start making like not derivative sequels and reboots all the time.
Now, that doesn't stand true for like movies like Guardians of the Galaxy. That movie still made it's still making money obviously, but it's already made like $800 million.
Yeah, but that movie's good.
Right, and those movies are good. And when we talk about sequels, I don't think that those fall into that category necessarily. I know it's a sequel, but
well, it's just Guardians of the Galaxy hasn't been done a bajillion times. It's not a reboot of old Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the first time Guardians of the Galaxy has been done in film, and it's. I mean, yeah, there was a sequel, but that's only 2 movies. Not like with Spider-Man or Transformers or stuff like that.
8.
Exactly.
8 of those films. Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Although I did enjoy the last one. God help me, I liked it.
You should kill yourself.
I don't know, man. You should watch it and just be like, fuck, that wasn't bad. Because that's what's going to happen.
Never going to happen. I don't care if it's the best movie in the world. I will never watch it.
I think this all ends when they make Titanic 2 and no one goes to see it.
I don't think they'll make a Titanic 2. They'll just make a reboot.
Oh, you know what? That wouldn't surprise me at all if they fucking found some new heartthrob and made a Titanic reboot. Ugh. Oh, God. Please don't let that happen. Okay. That should be it for movie and TV talk.
Yeah, I don't got nothing else movie to talk about.
Yeah, me neither.
Why don't we?
How about video games?
Why don't we take a little stroll down video game lane?
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt and I have been playing a game together.
We have?
We have.
What are you talking about?
It's called
Oh, yeah.
Don't Starve Together, and I have to make an announcement on our YouTube channel. I will be putting up, I recorded some of our gameplay, and I'm going to take some of the funny bits and some of the gameplay that we did, and I'm going to put it on our YouTube channel. I'm going to do a little editing. Nothing spectacular. Don't expect.
Why don't you do the editing and then send me the video, and I'll put it on the channel?
Okay, I can do that.
Because that is all that our channel is my channel.
That's true. Yeah.
All of my personal information.
Okay. I will send
as
it
much
to
as
you.
I trust you, I don't want to give it out and have it be like lost or something.
Right. No, I understand that. So Matt doesn't trust me. You heard it here first. I guess we're not friends. And I'm just going to send him the videos and put on the channel.
Well, I wasn't going to say it like that, but
do it all by yourself.
You saw... No, you're going to edit it and send it to me. All I'm going to do is put it up, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to do shit to that video.
But yeah, look for us. And like I said, it's not going to be anything special, but, just look for it. It'll be fun to watch. I think.
We're not hamming it up for the camera. It's literally just us playing a game together.
Like when Matt and I play video games together, I feel like our conversations just generally are not all of it, but not even a majority, but there are some funny things that come out when we're just off the cuff talking to each other and conversating. So is conversating a word?
Sure, why not? Yeah, I would at least recommend that you cut out some of the long silences that we have.
Oh no, I definitely, like I said, I'm going to go through them all because we got quite a bit of gameplay footage.
We played that game we played that game like 2 days straight.
I'm definitely going to go through and take out a bunch of this shit where it's just me alone on
chopping
my screen,
trees.
chopping trees down, and Matt's doing his thing. We make a plan. Hey man, I'm going to go chop wood today. Okay, I'll go collect rocks. All right, see you at nighttime. And then we don't talk to each other for like 3 or 4 minutes. Unless it's random, just ah! And it's like, oh, what's happening? Oh, I'm getting attacked by spiders. But yeah, that's what I've been playing that a lot with Matt this week. And you know what? I haven't really played a whole lot of Overwatch because it's kind of like free Overwatch weekend, and it's in between competitive seasons. Competitive season number 5 actually just started up yesterday. So
yeah, that reminded me. I was gonna play it today and do some of my placement matches, and I just didn't.
Yeah, I'll probably do a lot of those. I'll probably do all of those tomorrow. So
I got back into Battlefield today. Now that I would say that I am now finally officially used to being 60 hertz again. And I'm not, so that means I'm not totally garbage at competitive first-person shooting games anymore. And so I picked it up, and I had a blast. I only played like 1 match while I was waiting for you to get on, but I'm probably going to play a lot of that in the coming days, and
right
as well as Overwatch. And I would like to continue playing Don't Starve as well. And the next game in my quest, what did I say it was last time? Because it's not that anymore. It is now...
Alien Breed? 7?
No.
Oh.
It's Dishonored.
Oh, okay.
And after that is Dishonored 2. You know, I chose more than 5 games. Because whatever, I just chose some games. So as I'm not gonna make any changes to this. This is this short form version of my list. That once I beat all these games, I'll come up with another random assortment of games to put in my Quest Games file, and then those will be the next. But as it stands now, it's going Dishonored, Dishonored 2, Doom, Fallout 4, Far Cry 4, Far Cry Primal, Gears of War 4, No Man's Sky, Owlboy, Prey, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, The Surge, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, and Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. Once I beat those games, you know, like I said, I'll just select more.
Move on.
Yep. Those will be the next bunch. But yeah, it's Dishonored has been kind of well known for being a really good game, and I've been meaning to play it for such a long time now, and just have never gotten around to it. And I don't know if it's just the fact that I find it hard to really sit in and relax and really soak in a story focused game, like single player game, during weekdays. I don't know if that's what it is, or if it's just not grabbing me for some reason. But for some reason, I'm just not totally like into it. I mean, all will be solved this weekend when I actually play the game in like a relaxed state,
right?
Instead of, you know, being tired and just wanting to chill out and not really do anything. It's not that the game is bad. I have fun when I play it. There's just nothing that's making me go, man, I want to play Dishonored right now.
Right.
Hopefully that changes, but I
really like that game. That game's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it seems like I'll have a good time with it.
It was one of the free game downloads when I had Xbox Gold, and I downloaded it for free and played it. And yeah, I was like, wow, this is a pretty good game for free. Can't complain about that. I downloaded two new games on Steam. I was on Facebook, and there was a list that popped up. I've been seeing a lot of lists lately that come up on Facebook that are so this is a little tangent, but it's like what book was the most popular the year you were born, or what song was the summer song the year you were born. And I've just seen a bunch of these lists pop up like that. And I don't know why that is, but I look at all of them because I'm intrigued. But this list was top 10 games that are for free to play games that are on Steam right now. And the first one I downloaded was Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion, which is called something else, or it was called something else. I can't remember what it was called.
I've seen a lot of gameplay of that game, and I don't know. It doesn't. I mean, I guess it. If I had to guess, I'd be entertained by that game for about a half hour.
Now, the review I read on this...
1,000 rooms.
Right. The review I read on this list was the beginning of the game is not what you expect, and it's not super scary, but as you progress through this game, it gets relatively creepier, a lot creepier. And I don't know if I can see that or not right now, because I have only played literal 10 minutes of it, and I was like, I don't know about this. I'm gonna give it a fair shot. But I also downloaded Path to Exile, which is like from what I understand, it's kind of like a Diablo style game, correct?
Well, I talked about this game many podcasts ago and recommended the shit out of it. This is before I was on my quest, and I never beat it, so it is going back on the list. And I can't wait, man. It's an awesome game, and it is... I guess... No, it's not. It doesn't really play like Diablo at all. It's more like a... like, it's kind of like D&D.
Is a story-based driven game?
Story-based driven game.
A story-driven based titled game?
I don't really know what you mean by that. There's a story. Yeah, you build a character, and it can be one of a million different classes, and you select all these starting attributes, and then you kind of just click on enemies, and I don't know. It was an amazing game though. But the thing that killed it for me was I did that thing that I always do with games like that, and I build a character, get like 15 hours in, and I'm like, I don't like this character, and I restart. And then that happens like 5 times, so I end up playing like the first 10 hours of the game like 5 times, and I get burnt out, and I got to set it down for a while. And that's what always happens to me on games like that, and it's a really hard habit for me to
Yeah, you gotta quit that.
cut. But it's an awesome game. I think you'll really like it.
Good. I'm glad I downloaded it.
I recommend you going back and re-listening to the episode where we talked about that.
Maybe I will.
Pillar. Are you talking? Is it Path? Did you say Path of Exile?
Path of Exile, yes.
I think that's the same game. Let me just look real quick.
It'd be super easy to tell because your explanations of each one of the episodes of our podcast are so in depth.
Well, I think I talk about it in the description of whatever episode it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not installed. Maybe it's a different game.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm thinking of Pillars of Eternity.
Oh, yeah, I remember you talking about that game extensively. That's not free to play,
Path of
is it?
Exile, then. Oh, no, yeah, it's not. What was I thinking? I just totally ignored that part. Yeah, I've never played this game before. I've got no idea about this game.
I do think this is a D&D, or not a D&D,
a Diablo style?
A Diablo style.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But it's free to play, and I figured I'd give it a shot. When you just said you can there's a ton of classes, and then you can pick from a million different people and classes and stuff, I was just like, this might not be the same game because you can only pick from 6 different classes and people in Path to Exile. But I will say this. The only thing I've done is look. I was very tired when I downloaded these games, but I wanted to download them so I wouldn't forget to. The classes and the characters that they have, the pre-made classes and characters that they have, the idea is that you are on like a slaver boat, and you're getting shipped off with a bunch of other people to an exiled island, and the stories are kind of in depth to each character in the game at the beginning, and you can click on them, and they have voice actors that read off their story in the beginning, and their stories are actually really good. Like just the origin of why they're there on that boat and what their goal is really there. It's very interesting. So I'm kind of excited to play that game. But outside of that, I'm just kind of not doing too much else. Just like I said, playing Don't Starve with you. And
well, I downloaded a couple of new games. They're multiplayer games. One is a little $15 game called Ravenfield, and it's like a mix of Epic Battle Simulator and Battlefield. It's got the graphics of Epic Battle Simulator and the gameplay of Battlefield, and it's in early access right now. And but I can tell that I'm gonna like this game. There isn't much to do right now, but set up giant battles and fight each other.
right,
It's single player, and you just fight between bots on various maps with various weaponry. But it's a fun little game, and I think I wouldn't say that it's worth $15 right now, but I think it's got potential. They're going to add mod support or like Steam Workshop support and all sorts of things, and I think this game has a bright future ahead of it. Look it up, everyone. It's called Ravenfield again. And the other one is Rising Storm 2 Vietnam just came out, which I've talked about the Red Orchestra and Rising Storm expansion pack and all that stuff, those games before. This is the same gameplay except set in Vietnam, and it's awesome. it's just like a uber realistic Vietnam like battle simulator. It's a lot of fun. That being said, it can be a little frustrating. There's a lot of moments where you just get killed and you have no idea who shot you. You know, there's no enemy indicators. There's no anything like that. You die quick, and like 1 or 2 shots you die depending on where you get hit. Obviously, if you get shot in the heart or the head, it's an instant kill by any weapon. And then if you get shot in the leg, if you escape, you have a chance to patch yourself up. But if you don't do it quick, you'll bleed out and die. But it's really fun. Again, Rising Storm 2 Vietnam. I highly recommend any of the Rising Storm Red Orchestra games if you like military simulation, like first person, like large players. Like it's 64 player servers in this game. I would describe it as like a realistic version of Battlefield 1, basically, or any of the Battlefield games. Just a more realistic version of those.
That sounds interesting. I'm looking at it right now.
It's fun. It's really fun. But like I said, it can be frustrating when you just die a million times. That and I haven't played that much of it, but what I have played, it feels like the teams are a little imbalanced, which makes sense in real life because the Americans had Hueys and Apaches and Cobra helicopters and tanks and all these things, and the Viet Cong didn't really have any. They were an insurgency for the most part. At least some factions were. So in all the maps that I've played, the Americans are flying around in Hueys and Cobras, just fucking bitches up, and I'm just on the ground trying to shoot them with my AK because I don't know if that works or not, and it's not working out. So I don't know about that, but
I do like the
still
fact
think
that,
it's a
that
lot
you
of
said
fun.
that no matter if you get shot in the head by, a pistol or a shotgun or a sniper rifle, a headshot's a headshot and you're gonna die. I like that aspect of games like this, because if I put a pistol to your head or I shoot you in the head with a pistol, you're gonna die. Unlike in Battlefield, oh, you only shot me in the head 3 times with a pistol. It takes 5 shots.
Yeah, but that being said, games are games, and they do that. They do that kind of thing to make them more fun. And a lot of people don't find simulation games very fun. It takes a certain kind of person to enjoy that. And I enjoy both of those games for different reasons, though.
Yeah.
Like I said, I played a lot of Battlefield today, and I really enjoyed it. So, the fact that I'm shooting a guy 20 times in the chest with a submachine gun and he's not dying isn't really
doesn't take
taking away from my enjoyment. Yeah. If it was a different game, of course it would, but I know how Battlefield is and I know what to expect. So.
Right.
But if you don't have anything else, I guess that's enough for video games. You got anything else video game-wise?
No, that's it.
When are you planning to edit these videos and send them to me? Is this something that the peeps can expect soon?
It should be fairly soon. Like I said, I've got the next 3 days off. I got some papers to write for school. I have some other things that I need to take care of. But all of that should be done relatively quickly tomorrow. And by quickly, I mean like probably in the first 6 or 7 hours of my day, I'm just going to focus on doing all of this stuff I need to do. And then the rest of the weekend, when I get, because sometimes, like I said, Matt and I play Don't Starve or other video games together for like 4 or 5 hours together. And then it's kind of like I get a little burnt out and I need a little break. And when I get a little break, I'll probably work on editing some of that stuff together. So it shouldn't be too terribly long.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good, dude.
Sounds good.
Has there been any news or anything happening in the world that has raised a flag in your brain, or anything else you'd like to talk about? Let's see here.
Ooh, fidget spinners.
What? What about them?
They're a thing.
Yeah.
That's it.
They exist.
They're things. They exist.
I learned that fidget spinners and things like fidget spinners, spinach spinners, garner a lot of hate for no reason other than they're a meme.
Well, not only that, but it's not cool to be mainstream, bro. And those things are a hot fucking item right now. And if you use one, you're a fag.
I just suddenly realized that when
conformist.
This last weekend, some people I was with we were talking about fidget spinners, or they were, and I was just kind of sitting there listening. And someone said, "Yeah, they're so dumb." And everyone's talking about how dumb they are. And I was like, "Why? Or they were getting so hostile and like just like really like they
Hate fidget spinners. They're worse than Hitler.
And I'm like, well, they're just a toy that people like.
Right, yeah.
It confuses me how people can get such strong feelings over things that don't matter.
Listen, man, someone made a pet rock and made $1 million doing it, and these are no different than the pet rock. They're just something that occupies people's time. For some reason, someone saw these fidget spinners and went, wow, this is awesome, and it just caught on. And they'll be gone. Wait 3 months. You won't hear anything about fidget spinners anymore. I guarantee it. Although, I did see that they have fidget spinner porn.
Oh, I think I've heard of that too.
I haven't seen any of it, but I'm going to do extensive research purely for science. And I'll get back to you on that.
RoboCop joins Dubai police to fight real-life crime.
What?
I'm looking at slides here of a robot wearing a policeman's hat in
Shit.
Dubai. A robotic policeman, which can help identify wanted criminals and collect evidence, has joined Dubai's police force and will patrol busy areas in the city as part of a government program aimed at replacing some human crime fighters with machines.
Well, I'll be damned.
If the RoboCop experiment is successful, Dubai police says it wants the unarmed robots to make up 25% of its patrolling force by 2030. Wow. I don't see much of a... I mean, it's basically just like a moving surveillance camera. What else can it do? You know?
Yeah, it's not like it has a fucking gun attached to its hip and it comes out of its fucking side and it's like, freeze!
Well, that is basically like a scooter with a camera on it. It's like, what's it? There's no way it could possibly apprehend anyone. It's not like dexterous enough to do anything like that.
But then again, man, that's how
it seems like a waste of money.
Everything's got to start somewhere.
But Dubai has no shortage of money, so.
Yeah.
Fiona the hippo dazzles in front of the cameras. How nice.
I've been seeing a lot of hippo.
Really, hippos are like the darlings of 2017. The little
Hippos and
darling
giraffes, man.
Giraffes have always been that way, I think. But hippos, I think, are hippos. I think are just now rising to popularity.
What about Kafifi?
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, that's a big thing right now.
Yeah, evidently Trump did a really weird late night tweet that seemed like it was like unfinished and it was just left unaddressed, where the last word was Kafifi. What was the whole tweet? I'm gonna look up.
Yeah, look it up. I can't remember what it is either.
Trump Kafifi tweet. And now it's a huge meme. It's sad, but lately I've been learning most of my big large news stories through memes that they spawn, and then I see the meme and I'm like, what is this? And then I look at it or I research it and I'm like, oh, this is what it is. Here's the whole tweet that Trump tweeted. I think it was like a little after midnight is what I heard. Donald J. Trump, despite the constant negative press, Kafifi, and then it just ends. So it's clearly an unfinished thought.
Right. It's like a drunk girl tweet.
Trump must be just imploding mentally.
I can't imagine this. I mean, I know for a fact being the president isn't just an easy job, but he could be doing that shit like legit all the time here. Pretty like by the end of his 4-year term, it could get pretty funny what this guy tweets. Ooh, here's a fun story. I saw this, and this actually put a smile on my face and made me pretty happy. A guy who is a huge Back to the Future fan and drives a DeLorean got a speeding ticket for going 88 miles an hour, and I love that.
That's awesome.
That is fucking phenomenal.
So I just found a odd story here of a man who fought in 3 different armies, all against the Russians. Lauri Allen Torni, later known as Larry Thorne, was a Finnish army officer who fought against the Russians during the Winter War, being awarded the Mannerheim Cross, Finland's most prestigious military award, for inflicting such heavy casualties on the Soviet forces. He would then later join the Nazi Waffen-SS during World War II, continuing to fight the Russians in Finland under the German Reich, earning himself the Iron Cross Second Class. Towards the end of the war, he would be captured by Allied forces. After escaping a British POW camp in 1945, he returned to Finland to find his family. However, he was arrested in 1946 by Finnish state police and tried for treason for serving in the German army. He was found guilty and sentenced to 6 years of prison in 1947, escaped that summer, was recaptured but eventually pardoned for his crimes in 1948. He became a merchant mariner in 1950, sailed to Venezuela and eventually the U.S. on a cargo ship, where while in the Gulf of Mexico near Mobile, Alabama, he jumped overboard and swam to shore. He became a political refugee in 1953. He was granted a residence permit. In 1954, he joined the U.S. Army and attended OCS in 1957, earning his commission as a first lieutenant. He would go on to Special Forces training and become a Green Beret in the 10th SFG. In 1960, he was promoted to captain and deployed to Vietnam in 1963, where during a fierce attack he would receive 2 Purple Hearts and a Bronze Star with Valor. During his second tour in Vietnam with 5th SFG in 1965, Captain Thorne would be transferred to MACVSOG, some weird acronym, MACV-SOG, a highly classified special operations unit dealing with unconventional warfare. It is here that in October of 1965, while on a clandestine mission, Captain Thorne's helicopter would be lost in the mountains after a fatal crash. Captain Thorne's remains would not be discovered until 1999 and finally buried at Arlington National Cemetery in 2003. He was posthumously promoted to major and awarded the Legion of Merit and Distinguished Flying Cross.
Holy shit.
What a crazy goddamn story, dude.
That is fucking nuts.
Jesus Christ, how does shit like that happen?
Right?
This guy really hated commies. That was like his whole life goal. He even was a Nazi to do it.
Yeah, that's...
How do you do... He was a Nazi in World War II and then became an officer in the U.S. Army in Vietnam. That is crazy.
He hates himself some fucking... Ooh, dirty-ass Krauts.
Krauts are German people.
That's why I meant Russians.
And the Viet Cong weren't Russian. They were just all communists.
What are we talking about?
You're so old. God.
He hates commies, man.
Yeah, I said that, and then you messed with it and sounded dumb.
Those Russian commies, right?
It was Russian commies in 2 of the wars. He fought in 3 wars. In Vietnam, we did not fight Russians.
Oh, weird.
Sometimes I wonder if you even listen to anything I say.
Oh, I don't know why my brain... I think it's just because my brain immediately went to Russians because you said commies.
Yeah, whatever. You just hate my guts.
Really?
Yep.
So I just saw this... Is that the story?
No.
Oh. I didn't see. I just saw this... This story just came across my little weird news thing that I'm on, and it says, Ariel Winter, which I don't know who Ariel Winter is. Oh, she's an actor on a sitcom, apparently on Fox, called Modern Family. I think I've seen bits and pieces of that show. And it's actually pretty funny. It says, Ariel Winter, this is the body I was given. This is who I am. And then there's a picture of her. Oh, darn, that's the body you were given? Shut up. You're fucking hot.
I don't know what she looks like.
Apparently people are fat shaming her because she took some pictures on a beach in a bikini, and she's gorgeous.
Oh, is this that blonde supermodel girl?
Nope. This woman is gorgeous, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with her body. And the people who fat shame her, fuck you. And the fact that she's like, this is the body I was given. This is who I am. It's not big a deal.
So I'm looking at a shot of her in a bikini right now, and I don't understand where is the fat on her?
That's what I'm saying. She's smoking hot.
She's gorgeous. People are crazy.
People are fucking stupid.
The world is just, like, on its head right now, man.
It really is.
Have you heard all this stuff going on? There's, like, a big thing going on in a school. It's called, like, God, what was it? I watched a YouTube video by Philip DeFranco on it earlier today. Let me look it up real quick here. It's just another one of those, like, crazy people, like Black Lives Matter-esque type of people who, I don't know, they're just extremely entitled, and I don't know, it's kind of a delicate story. It's hard to it'd be hard to say anything on this without being branded a racist, which I'm not really worried about, because people throw that term around like today like it has no meaning anymore. It's like, we've talked about it before, but I don't think people even understand what racism means anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But jeez, where is this goddamn video at?
Here's how crazy our world is. This is a legit news story. People think Ivanka Trump's Memorial Day popsicles are insensitive. Why? Why is that a thing that I have to read online right now?
What did you say?
People think Ivanka Trump's Memorial Day popsicles are insensitive. Why is that the story?
Memorial Day popsicles? What?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe apparently she made some popsicles and they were insensitive. They better look exactly like dicks.
What in the hell is the name of this school? What in the heck is the name of this school? What in the heck? Can I just like, they've got to have like a link to. Oh, here we go. Evergreen State College. So, there's like evidently this holiday or something where, like back during like Jim Crow law days, back when racism against black people was still a pretty big problem. I guess there was a holiday that, not like a federally recognized holiday, but just kind of a thing that people did where they, like all black people who chose to participate in this holiday would just not show up. It was called the Day of Absence. And the purpose of the holiday was to show people what it was like if no black people are around, and to kind of show their value. You know, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I see what you're saying.
Which I think is not a bad idea, especially during those times. Nowadays, I feel like it's a little unnecessary. I'm not saying that racism isn't still alive and well, but I just think it's different nowadays.
Right.
But so these students at Evergreen State College decided to flip it on its head, and basically they wanted to force the school to postpone all white students from going to the school for a day. And the leader of the leader of the school was totally against it. He said there's a difference between people voluntarily not coming to school and me telling people they can't come to school because they're white.
That's racist.
And then he it brought to light all these other issues that the students were. I mean, just look up videos. They're filming themselves, and it's just so damning for them. They're basically a mob, just like yelling at these teachers and these faculty at the college who are not in the smallest way wrong. They talk about how evidently an issue arose where diversity became an issue for when it came to hiring faculty, and the leader of the school announced that the way he saw it, which is the way that it should be saw in my opinion, is that people should be hired based on their skills and merit when as it pertains to the job they're applying for, not just because they need to fulfill some kind of diversity quota.
Right.
A person needs to prove their merits regardless of their race. It doesn't matter what skin tone they are. The idea of like professional diversity when it comes to, hiring someone based on skin color is racism. That's, I'm going to hire you because you're black, not because you're qualified for this job. That's basically what it is, in my eyes. And he said that, no, I hire people based on their skills, their skill set.
Right.
If they're qualified for the job, they get the job. If they're a woman, they still get the job. If they're black, if they're qualified, they still get the job. If they're any other race in the world and they're qualified, they get the job. It doesn't matter. Their skin tone doesn't matter. Which is not that's not racism.
No, that's
what
you should do.
Which is what I was getting at earlier. It's like everything's flipped on its head. People think that because they're some black people, it seems like because they're black, they're entitled to all these certain things, and they're not. And that's racism. They think that they're better than other people because they had hardship. And they didn't even personally had hardship. Their people had hardship in the past. And I mean, if you believe in like white privilege, I guess that's kind of a different, or not really a different thing, but I guess that would mean that I guess you do think you've been oppressed if you believe in white privilege, which I think on a subconscious level is a real thing. But I don't know. I just think it's all totally been blown out of proportion, and I think it's just people being entitled, and I'm black and you did terrible things to my people in the past, therefore I'm entitled to treat you the way I was treated, which is wrong.
I don't know, man. I get exactly what you're saying, and I'm on the same page as you. I don't understand it. I don't get this whole we need to fill quotas because we don't want to seem racially insensitive at this company. So we need to have so many black people working here and so many Chinese people and so many white people. It's like you said. It's like this guy says, if you're qualified to do the job and you're the best candidate for the job, you're going to get the job. I don't care what color you are or your ethnicity or whatever, or your sex. It doesn't matter.
So I want to read an article about this story that will probably put things way better than I did, because I don't say words good.
We don't word good at all.
It's on a website called The College Fix. The article's called "Students Harass White Professor for Refusing to Leave Campus on an Anti-White Day of Absence." Written by Greg Piper, the associate editor of this publication. Racism is alive and well at Evergreen State College, and its target is white people who refuse to apologize for being white. Students at the Washington Liberal Arts School, whose main claim to fame is alumnus and Simpsons creator Matt Groening, harassed biology professor Brett Weinstein because he refused to leave campus for the annual Day of Absence, April 12th, the Washington Times reports. Incredibly, they're trying to get him fired. Evergreen State practices explicit and institutional racial segregation once a year. Typically, non-white students and faculty leave campus to show how valuable they are, and the whites stay on campus to be indoctrinated in an anti-racism workshop and seminars.
Jesus Christ.
But this year it was reversed, and Weinstein told the director of a campus multicultural office that he was staying put. Bay Area entrepreneur William Treadster posted Brett's email to the diversity official, which said the mandatory absence of whites from campus was a show of force and an act of oppression in and of itself. You may take this letter as a formal protest. This is an excerpt from the letter. You may take this letter as a formal protest of this year's structure, and you may assume I will be on campus during the day of absence. On a college campus, one's right to speak or to be must never be based on skin color. And then there's the whole email right here. I won't read that. Let's see. As an alternative to leaving campus, Weinstein offered to organize a public discussion of race through a scientific evolutionary lens. As long as, in quotes, people who attend with an open mind and willingness to enact in good faith.
Sounds like a real racist asshole.
Seriously, man, this guy should be put in prison. Protesters decided to raise hell after reading about Weinstein's refusal to judge people by their race. They recorded their harassment of Weinstein, apparently thinking they would be applauded for their bravery of surrounding and yelling at a professor, possibly unaware it backfired at Yale. And again, I will say that I'm sure if you Google Evergreen State College harassment videos, you'll find a plethora of videos where students are just straight up harassing people who are actually trying to have a conversation. And in the 2017 version of diplomacy, they are just screaming at them like idiots. Because conversations with people who believe differently than you evidently isn't diplomacy anymore.
Nope.
Weinstein tries to reason with dozens of students who routinely shout him down, curse at him, and demand his resignation, as captured on video. There is a difference, and this is an excerpt from something, probably the video. There is a difference between debate and dialectic, Mr. Weinstein says in the video. Debate means you're trying to win. Dialectic means you are using disagreement to discover what is true. I am not interested in debate. I'm only interested in dialectic, which does mean I listen to you and you listen to me. One student responds, "We don't care what terms you want to speak on. This is not about you. We are not speaking on terms of white privilege. This is not a discussion. You've lost that one." Another protester asks the professor whether he believes black students in the sciences are targeted. After asking for clarification, Mr. Weinstein says, "I don't believe that anybody on our faculty with intent specifically targets students of color." The remark draws shrieks of outrage. Weinstein said the protesters are threatening to dox the students defending him, and the school was remaining mum. He also asked President George Brides, himself surrounded by protesters at one point, for a response. And here's a tweet or a Facebook post that's blurred out. So I don't know. I'm assuming this is a post by the president of the whatever this is. "I have names and faces of students in Brett's class who were filming the class protest yesterday and who are actively defending him. If you would like to see these faces for your own safety, please contact me." Here's a tweet by Brian Weinstein, the guy who's being harassed. "My students are being singled out for disagreeing with the conventional wisdom, Witch Hunt 2017. Evergreen State College is silent on the matter. The press is missing in action. College papering over the problem, putting students, staff, plus faculty at risk. Police have given me unambiguous warning." And here's another tweet by him. "Evergreen State College, to be clear, the police told me I'm not safe on campus. They cannot protect me. Students in jeopardy. No contact from admin." And that's the end of the tweets. Brett's brother Eric, managing director of investment firm Thiel Capital, defending his brother against the lying mob on Twitter. USJWs just targeted the wrong guy. Atheist author Sam Harris piled on, accusing the students of cult behavior. A screenshot of this tweet was posted in Facebook video comments. These kids don't belong at a university. They need cult deprogramming first. Student activists are also trying to get the college's police chief fired because the officers are allegedly seeking out and confronting black trans disabled students. What is a black trans disabled student? Can you look that up, please, while I read this?
Yep, I'm on it.
At the college, the Olympian reports. Unsurprisingly, the administration is encouraging even more disruptive students' protests by promising to work with the activists to address their issues, saying officials have had an intense and useful conversation with them. That's the end of the article. So, I mean, there's the article. Think what you will on the subject, but I think it's clear who's in the wrong here.
But if you think that you're racist,
yeah, but if I'm racist to these idiots, then I don't care.
yeah, exactly. That's the
These
thing.
people don't know what they're talking
If
about.
all of those people who are protesting that and think that you're racist because of the way you think like that, you're right. I don't care. All of them can think I'm racist. They're all idiots.
In my eyes, these people are just as bad as the white people during the Jim Crow days. You know, when white people would yell racial slurs at African American students trying to enter a white school for the first time. It's the same thing. It's just reversed.
Right.
It's not on the same scale because, I mean,
It's not happening everywhere.
racial diversity is already allowed everywhere. You know,
Right.
It's not on the same scale. It's not. It's you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But to me it's the same idea, just on a lesser scale, because things have moved forward in a general sense, but we've also taken some huge steps backwards.
Especially in this last year alone.
It really is just, to me it's just like a whole revenge thing. Like you did this to us in the past, and now we're going to do it to you.
Right. That's all it is. And like you said, it's not. None of these kids at this college, none of them went through the shit that their ancestors went through.
Exactly, but they feel all of the anger as if they did,
and they're looking for some payback, and that's all it is.
It's so dumb, man.
It's stupid. Here's a funnier story. So I saw this posted a couple days ago. I think no, I don't even want to speculate on who I thought put the post up, because I don't want to be that guy. Some news outlet put a thing on Facebook and on Twitter and everything about the Mar-a-Lago or Mar-a-Lago, which apparently is a huge stretch of condos and houses and shit that rich people own. And one of them happens to be Donald Trump. And it says huge sinkhole opens up in front of Mar-a-Lago residence. And immediately people before, and this is the world we live in now. That's what it said. People didn't even click on the story. They just started, writing tweets and other things saying, "Hi, I hope it swallows up his whole house. Fuck Trump. This is what you get. This is his sinkhole to hell. Blah blah blah." I just saw the sinkhole for myself. It's a pothole. Not kidding. It's a 4x4 pothole. Like I've seen bigger things on the street outside my house. This is fucking hilarious to me. It is so small.
No, man, it's a sinkhole. It's a massive sinkhole.
That's Bobby Hill.
So I'm sorry, I didn't fully listen to that because something just happened to me on Facebook, which I'd like to bring to the light. Warning everybody, this has happened to me at least 3 times now, and it's like a Facebook scam. People make fake profiles. They take people take their profile picture and their name and pretend to be them and friend you on Facebook. So if you get a friend request from someone that you're sure you're already friends with, but you just accept it thinking, "Oh, well, how was I not friends with them?" Chances are in the next couple minutes you'll get a message from them and they'll try to like talk about some kind of thing that's clearly a scam. And it's happened to me multiple times. It just happened to me literally during the podcast. So look out for that.
PSA for the week.
Oh my gosh. It looks kind of deep. It might be a little bigger.
It's waist deep. It's 3 feet deep.
Waist deep is a huge ass pothole.
It's
dude.
3 feet deep. That's not a fucking sinkhole. And I specifically remember the
if it's not a pothole and it's not a sinkhole,
saying,
what is it?
Huge sinkhole.
Well, it's for sure not a huge sinkhole, but it's not a pothole either. It's somewhere in the middle.
I can drive over that with my truck, no problem.
I don't know about that, man. If you hit that with your tires, I disagree.
What else am I going to hit it?
You cannot tell me you could drive over that with your tires. Your tires are not... Look, there's a van in there for... How could you possibly say
reference?
that? There's tires
dude,
right there.
I mean, I'd have to be going like 180.
You just say things before thinking.
I think about it. I just say things.
Are there any more funny news stories that will restore my faith in humanity?
No.
Don't say that.
It's not a lie, man.
Jeep slams into home after going airborne. That's funny. Germans build a 4-mile underground pipeline for beer.
I saw that.
Could there be a more German thing? That's awesome. Dog caught on camera stealing bread from a store. Oh, did you see the video of that little girl being dragged into the sea by a sea lion?
Dude, that was scary as fuck.
Right? When I saw that video, I was like, oh my god, is that real? I had to watch it a couple times before I'm like, holy shit, this is real as shit, dude.
No, because it takes her in like, that bitch is dead. She gonna die.
Yeah.
She's never coming back up for air. It snatches her back by the back of her dress and drags her under the water so fucking fast. It was violent looking too. I was like, oh my god, that girl died.
And then her grandpa or some old guy jumps in like a hero, like in an instant, and saves her.
Yeah, there was no hesitation in that man. That happened. Like, I don't know if I would react that fast, man. If I was standing there and that happened, I'd be like, oh shit. And then it'd take me like a second or two, and then I'd go, oh, I need to get in there. That dude had no hesitation. It happened, and it was like he knew it was going to happen.
Teen gets placed at top university by writing a letter about Papa John's pizza.
For him.
Girls pose. It's a woman, actually. You sexist.
Oh, good for her.
Girls pose for a friendly picture, but something pretty spooky is going on behind them. Oh, I'm clickbaited.
Oh no, you got clickbaited?
Yep. Oh, what? Is it just a shitty edit? It's just a shitty edit.
Dude is freaking everybody out.
There's a billion. Oh wow, this is a great picture. I'm gonna put this picture in the Discord. And tell me what you see first.
Done. that big fat ass.
Yeah, that chick has a nice butt. But look in the background.
Oh, they're all the same dude.
Yeah.
Clearly photoshopped.
So why is this a news story?
Right. Clearly photoshopped this guy's head on everybody's head behind him. There's not 12 of the same looking man back there.
As you can see, the same man is walking with his head down in the picture over and over again. The image was posted on Imager where people were quick to try and guess what made it different. However, that many failed to spot it, and one wrote, "I don't get it," while another said their age. We could be wrong, but we think the background is down to someone's photo hop skills.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. There's a typo in this article. It's photos hop.
Photos hop.
Photos hop skills.
No, dude, if anything, that girl's ass might be photoshopped.
I don't care. It's great.
It is great.
That's a good butt.
That is a real good butt.
Good job on that butt, girl.
Don't know who you are. Nice butt. Hope you're 18.
Me too. Otherwise, this is weird.
Don't want to be a weirdo. Nice butt.
No. Don't want to be a weirdo.
It's a pretty nice butt, though.
That's a pretty nice butt, though.
Dude, apparently you can start buying actual food, like fast food with bitcoins and shit.
Dude, did you hear the stories of like a man who bought like like 2 Bitcoin in a hard drive right when it was first becoming a thing, and he sold his computer that he lost the hard drive that the Bitcoin was on, and then like 5 years later, that Bitcoin was worth like $6 million, and he bought like huge portions of a landfill. And started excavating the landfill looking for his hard drive that had that Bitcoin on it.
Holy shit.
There was another story of a man who bought a pizza with like 12,000 Bitcoin. And to this day, like what I'm gonna look up the worth of 12,000 Bitcoin. What is the worth of 12,000 Bitcoin? If you don't know what Bitcoin is, it's a virtual currency that is starting to be like actually worth real money. Oh my god, dude.
Which is
12,000
crazy to me.
12,000 Bitcoin today is worth $29 million.
How?
$29.4 million.
It's online currency.
What was it worth? What was it worth like a long ass time ago?
How do you acquire Bitcoin?
You buy it. You just buy it. Like you just Google Bitcoin. I don't know. I'm assuming you just Google it and I want to buy Bitcoin, and then you buy it. How about Bitcoin value history. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see here. It looks like it was released in 2010 is when Bitcoin became a thing. And I'm not finding anything easy to absorb here. On 22nd of May 2010, Laszlo Hayalithila made the first real-world transaction by buying 2 pizzas in Jacksonville, Florida, for 10,000 Bitcoin. In 5 days, the price grew 1,000%, raising from $0.008 to $0.08 for 1 Bitcoin. Top of a price rally during which the value was growing by 5 to 10% daily. Why? What I don't understand is why something like that would grow so much.
I don't get it either. Like, I don't understand. Is it because it's becoming a new way to purchase things? Just, I mean, I don't get it, and I don't understand how this works.
This guy bought 5,000 Bitcoins in 2009 for $27. Now it's worth $886,000.
Yeah, right now it says one Bitcoin is worth $2,438. How am I supposed to buy a Bitcoin?
Well, from what I understand, Bitcoin nowadays are kind of used for like shady purposes online and like the deep web, and that's like their only real use. Like for buying drugs and weapons and all the shady stuff you can get online in the deep web.
I don't get it, man.
That's probably why it's not mainstream knowledge.
Bitcoins.
Bitcoin. Well, I think this is a good place to stop the podcast. You got anything?
No, I
anything
got
else
nothing
you want
else,
to talk
man.
about? All right. Well, I guess this is a good way to round out episode 32 of the Just Some Guys podcast, everyone. Hey, remember, we're on YouTube, so subscribe and like and share us with everybody in the world, and even a couple people who aren't on the world. There's got to be some astronauts up in space. Share it with them, too. Next time you see them. And thank you for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.